and welcome back to the Form First podcast. You are joined by your hosts and founders, Sam and Ben. And before we get into this episode, I just want to say congratulations to us.
Yes. What for?
Well, mate, we've uploaded 3 podcast episodes, which officially makes us in the top 10% of podcast creators in the world.
Oh, let's go. Watch out.
That didn't actually take that much effort to upload 3 episodes. And these stats actually are super interesting to me, right? Like 3 episodes and we're in the top 10%. And once we reach 21 episodes, we're in the top 1% in the world of podcast creators. How crazy is that?
That's hectic. We're getting there.
Yeah,
This is
absolutely.
fun. I'm loving it.
And I guess it goes down the rabbit hole of like everything you do in life, whether that's, fat loss, building muscle, recovery, rehab, this shit takes time.
And consistency.
Absolutely.
Yeah, got to stick at it.
100%. And this is why, I think a lot of people, they upload 1, 2, maybe 3 podcast episodes and they don't get their desired outcome. And then immediately they go, oh, well, I didn't get any clients or I didn't get any gym memberships sign up, so I'm not going to do it anymore.
You did 3 episodes, you wally.
Yeah. Like realistically, we're not expecting anything until we hit 50, 100 episodes, and even still, that's not the main driver of this podcast. It's just so we can have a 45-minute space to just basically chat to each other.
Yeah, just tune out from outside the walls and just have a chat and discuss some hot topics.
Exactly right. Yeah. So I think the motivator of the week segment went quite well last week, I would say.
Yeah. That's good.
We got some good responses. So we're going to go ahead and go back into the motivator of the week. If you didn't enjoy it, I apologize because we're going to still do it anyway.
Unlucky.
But Ben, do you want to kick us off with your motivator of the week?
I will. I didn't bring any props this week, but I see you have. My motivator of the week is continuing to learn beyond your initial degree or diploma or certificate and continuing your professional development throughout your career. I think for me, ever since I started my career, it's helped me find new avenues of passion to keep me in the career itself, and just in general for things that I can continue to look at outside of hours and not only develop my knowledge and have more answers for my clients and things like that, but also just as a nice sort of calm, relaxing, again, tune out hobby that I get to do every day. And I used to not be somebody who was very good at this, not very good at prioritizing time or optimizing the opportunities to study, especially in high school and university. When I gave that a crack back in the day, gave accounting a shot, and now we're not even anywhere close to being an accountant. So yeah, I think something for me is that it's been really important for me as I've matured to continue to learn in my own field and in other fields as well. And I think that everyone could agree that it's an important factor of any career.
Massively, mate. Personal development. We always have to be open to learning.
Always.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Bring us in.
Awesome, mate. Well, my motivation for this week is a book. It's called Relentless, and it is by Tim Grover. And I actually received this book by this lovely gentleman and his partner for my birthday.
Yeah.
And it's been fantastic.
Good.
Really enjoyed it. And it's something that I have recommended to probably majority of my clients, actually.
No way.
Yeah. So if
awesome.
you're one of my clients and you're listening to this and you're like, oh, shit, Sam recommended me read that and I haven't read it yet, go read it, or better yet, like audiobook. Admittedly, I actually put this on an audiobook, but I think it's really nice to have the physical book anyway, just like because I put it in my bookcase in my study.
Yeah.
And just to look up and be like, oh yeah, that book. And it just reminds you and it takes you back to like some really key points of the book itself.
Do you have any key takeaways from the book?
I think like the biggest thing is like the mental resilience. Like no one's going to be just doing the work for you. Like there's really no shortcuts in life. Like you have to put in the hard yards. To give you a bit of a background, like Tim, he's like the personal trainer for a lot of the NBA stars. So
Oh, nice.
his first ever client in the NBA was Michael Jordan as a rookie, right? So
That's
like
hectic.
imagine
Yeah,
that, right? Your
That's
first client is
unreal.
Michael Jordan, and then like he's worked with like Kobe Bryant, like all the big dogs. But
Yeah.
the amazing thing about it, like, yeah, he goes ahead and he trains them extremely hard, in the gym.
Yeah.
But there's so much more mindset stuff that goes into it than the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I believe has built like some really, really successful NBA players and other athletes that he's worked with as well.
Yeah.
And I think we can all take something away from that mental resilience.
Yeah. Ties in well with continuing to learn as well.
Absolutely, mate.
Get it done. Lovely. Love that. Mate, we're going to talk about why people wait until they're injured.
I've done it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What did you wait for?
My elbow, which I've spoken about this on the podcast before, like rewind back to, what was it, 2020 now? Like I was in a bodybuilding prep, started to get like a little bit of forearm like tightness, tricep tightness, shoulder tightness, and then that obviously referred into, golfer's elbow.
Yep.
And, I battled with that for many, many years, and it wasn't until it gave me grief to where I couldn't actually train biceps anymore to then actually go, I probably need to get this looked at, which in hindsight was probably a little bit too late.
A little bit late.
Yeah.
And I think that's, something that happens to everyone. I mean, it's something that I've done before. And we'll talk more about the education parts of being a bit more proactive with things like these. So I think that an important mindset that everyone possesses, I would say, is that we want to push through it. We're just like, it's all good, it's just tightness, and it develops into pain. You say, it's not enough pain for me to stop doing what I'm doing because we're scared of taking that time away to rest and to recover and to find out what's really going on. And then we get to that stage and here we are, just not being able to work out, not being able to, let's say for golfer's elbow, that can be really tough to, if you have young kids or anything like that, can be tough to support them, play with them, hold them, and do just your basic daily activities with something like that, with that pain through your elbow. I've never had it personally, but I've heard it's very uncomfortable.
Yeah, well, it even affected me with my work, like just restacking weights and loading up the bar for clients, like actually trying to pick up a 20-kilo plate. It was difficult. I couldn't.
And being stuck on your laptop all day in that same position, things like that. It's as small as that. These injuries can really, and then it just takes time away from your job in the end anyway, doesn't it?
Exactly.
So I think that, the push through it mindset is understandable, but is a real killer when it comes to things like this. Fitness and recovery, I think, is generally seen as fixing issues rather than more of a preventative measure. So it's seen more as, I'll only use fitness or I'll only use health or a physio or whatever it might be or a massage when I'm injured.
Yeah.
Which doesn't work. It's not sustainable. You get injured badly the first time and then you really start to see, like a lot of my clients that come in as simple as an office worker, really tight forearms, similar to you. He had some pain, he had some issues, he went through some needling and some treatment, and we were able to solve his issue, and now he just comes in once a month, regular checks. It has never gotten back to that stage or even close. He had pins and needles and everything. So it should be seen as something that is a bit more of a preventative measure. Another one is prioritizing time. That's a tough one.
Yep.
I think that when we're not injured, we don't have time. I say that lightly, to go and get these preventative treatments, and cost comes into that as well. But all of a sudden, when we are injured, we've got time, or we have to make time to go and get that. So why not make time beforehand, put that into your schedule so that, one, you're not in pain, you're not stopped from doing daily activities, as Sam has mentioned for himself. Yeah, why not just make that time? It doesn't have to be anything as crazy as going somewhere to get a massage. It can be self-care at home. It can be different things like that, really simple tasks to put into your day that require very low effort. And that sort of ties into underestimating the impact that small recovery techniques and things like that can have on preventing injuries.
Yeah. Small little habits that will compound over time. And, if you do a little bit every single day, that's sustainable, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like going to bed.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Like going to bed and getting good sleep and making sure you're hydrated, and just little things you can do at home. Ask your PT will have good suggestions, or your physio or whoever you're seeing will have great suggestions for you at home. Or you can watch some of my reels on Instagram. We've got some good tips in there as well. And I think another one is just that lack of education across that whole scenario there on, what is important about preventing these things, and what we need to do beforehand, during and after, and why recovery and rehab is seen as lazy and weak, or not even recovery and rehab, more so just that preventative stuff, like going to get a massage or taking that deload or taking that rest is scary because it knocks you out of routine, for one. And I'm a big creature of routine. I need that. And if I rest or I holiday for a bit or whatever it might be, I find it difficult to get back in. Once you've got that motivator, it is a little bit easier to come in, but it shouldn't be seen as a sign of laziness or you're giving up, like you're tired.
Yeah.
It's just a solid preventative measure. It's something that both of us do with our weeks, is we'll take some time off to rest, recuperate, do our other tasks and other things like that as well. And I think this ties really well into, like you are, is being a morning person and the importance of that, and the importance of getting yourself ready and getting some good hydration and nutrition in.
Yeah, big time. I guess a common question that I'm getting at the moment, because I start at 6 a.m. With my first client, and the common reaction to that, to the normal worker that works 9 to 5, is, oh my God, 6 a.m.
Yeah.
And just to confirm, like, I haven't been a morning person my entire life. Like, before the fitness industry, I used to work in nightclubs and doing events like weddings and birthdays, doing photography, right? Yeah. So I haven't always been in the fitness industry, but that meant that I was finishing work at some nights 2, 3 a.m., and was I getting up at 6 a.m.? No, I was probably going to bed at 6 a.m., right?
Yeah.
So like over time, when I moved into the fitness industry, I decided that I was going to, become a morning person, and it took a lot of time, but I guess some tips that I've used to help clients get into a morning routine is your pre-bed routine is super duper important, right?
Yeah.
We all know it. And one thing that is very important is setting your clothes out the night before you get up.
That's a good one.
Right?
Yeah.
So I do it. I get my shirt, I get my pants, my undies, my socks, my shoes, and I set everything up next to my bed or in a ensuite, ready to go. Because when you get up in the morning and you're like half asleep, you're trying to find where your clothes are, what are you going to wear? Then you get to the gym in the morning, your shirt's on back to front, inside out, and you go, well, fuck. Right? So super important. But even before that pre-bed routine is try to limit your caffeine intake, right? Because caffeine, as we know, 6-8 hour half life. So if you're smacking a coffee at 3 p.m. you have to be in bed by 9 to get your 8 hours sleep. That's going to affect your sleep, right? So just make sure that you're limiting your caffeine. Probably a good rule of thumb is try not to have any caffeine after 12 if you can, And we've spoken about that, have a non-stim pre-workout, On that pre-bed routine, particularly important around that 30 to 60 minutes before you go to sleep is limit your screen time, and that comes down to not using your phone as much, not looking at TV, computer screen, and, picking up a book or spending some time with your loved ones or whatever that might be. Do some meditation, don't care. Just, try not to be doom scrolling on TikTok and Instagram because, you'll be getting a cheap little dopamine hit before you go to sleep. And then depending on your algorithm, you might be looking at some, wacky stuff.
Yeah.
Which is not what you want.
Really mess you up.
Yeah. Try to go to bed at a similar bedtime as well.
Each
night.
Yep.
Yeah. And that goes down. Like, obviously you can have a bit of flexibility on the weekends, but even I have the same bedtime on the weekends and during the week because, if your normal bedtime, say 10 p.m. and then on the weekend you go to bed at 2 a.m., it's going to take you a long time to get back into that routine, So definitely try to keep that same routine. And same goes for your wake up time too.
Yeah.
Try to wake up at the same time. And, I set my alarm for 4:45 every morning, but on the weekends, obviously I might sleep in a little bit longer, on like
5:15.
Yeah. Well, I said that to my wife the other day. I was like, oh, sleep in tomorrow. She's like, what time? 5 a.m.
That's something I'm working on at the moment.
Yeah.
I think during the week, my partner and I are getting quite good at going to bed at the same time and trying to get to sleep by a certain time. So in bed at this time, lights off, phones off, whatever it is by this time, get to sleep. And we try to get up. And I think getting up at the same time every morning is a tough one.
Yep.
Because you feel different every morning, whether everything, what you've done the day before, all that type of stuff ties in. And then it's the weekends for us. Like you said, that's the tough one where you're like, okay, staying up and then I'm sleeping in and then I'm starting my day a lot later than I usually would. And then you have to go back to Monday.
Yeah.
And jump back in. So,
yeah. And you think about it like, if you are someone that works, Monday to Friday and the weekends is what you look forward to, then why waste it being in bed, And I think more to the point, like the reason that I keep such a similar routine Monday through to Sunday is because I love what I do. This is like, this is a job, this is work for me, yes, but it's my life as well. So I don't like struggle to get out of bed because I always jump out of bed because I'm like, let's go crush the day because I love what I do.
Yeah, and you feel much better when you start off your day like that and you know that at the end of the day you can just cruise, do what you need to do, play with P.
Yep, 100%.
Perfect.
Another one, if you're someone that tends to snooze their alarm and you're someone that sets 5 alarms, and I know I might be triggering a lot of people right now.
Triggering me, bro.
Yeah. A really simple one. Set your alarm the night before and go put it out of arm's reach, right? So go put it next to like on your dresser or in your ensuite, somewhere where you can't simply just roll over and hit snooze because, if your alarm goes off and you have to physically get out of bed and hit snooze and then jump back into bed, you're not going to jump back into bed. You're already awake, right? So you're just going to get up and your clothes are already up there, ready to go. So you're just going to jump in.
Cold showers running.
The cold shower's screaming my name. I'm ready to rock and roll, baby.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, I think that's a great tip. I might need to start hitting that one.
Yeah. Another one is like alarm clocks that turn on with the brightness. So like they turn on like the sun would rise. So like you can set it up, say if your alarm is set to go off at 6:30, then from 6 a.m. the light will gradually get brighter over half an hour span.
Oh, the light of the room.
Yeah.
Oh,
so the
nice
alarm
one.
clock has a light in it. And
illuminates
the entire room.
Sorry.
That's a really cool one
Wow.
if you're someone that wants to wake up to natural light
Natural.
rather than, a screaming alarm. And, obviously daylight savings, sun's not getting up as early, that sort of stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
can help.
that's a great one.
And when you're awake, just try to get up, get hydrated and stay hydrated as well. Very important in, both summer and winter. But I think in particular, I think a lot of people let their hydration slip. So, what I do is I get up, I'll have a coffee, I'll drink 500 ml of water with, either like a sugar-free cordial or like an electrolyte tablet just to get myself hydrated. Because, when you get up in the morning, go to the bathroom, your wee's basically fluorescent. That means you're very dehydrated, right? So you need to get hydrated.
Pump some H2O.
Definitely.
Yeah, we've been using. Indy found these water drops, flavored water drops.
Nice.
3-4 drops, flavors the whole bottle. It's great.
Yep.
Helps me a lot.
Nice.
But yeah, you gave me that tip, 500 mils in the morning. I was getting headaches a little bit there because you just lose track of when you've drank water. I don't use a drink bottle at the moment, so that's another task that I have to do. But yeah, that's been a very helpful one. Sam and I are going to talk about, can you train over DOMS?
Delayed onset muscle soreness. Jeez.
For those that don't know, that are listening, delayed onset muscle soreness is when super common with training legs, where you train really hard and push, lots of weight and put your muscles under a lot of strain. Day or two later, really struggling, especially with the lower body, really struggling to move, get up and down out of your car. So that is delayed onset muscle soreness, which is inflammation, repair, and all the good stuff that we can go on and on about forever. So what do you reckon, mate? As a PT yourself, can you train over DOMS?
Yeah, you can. It's painful, but you absolutely can. And, I think before we get into it, I think we need to say, like, soreness is not a direct correlation of a successful workout. I think a lot of people do that and they think, oh, well, if I'm not sore, I didn't train hard enough. Yep. And it's just not the truth.
Risky.
Yeah, for sure. Because then you go in and you absolutely smash yourself to the limits. But the reality is the more you train and the more consistent you are, probably the less muscle soreness you're going to get, right?
Yeah.
Because your body's going to get used to the load and the intensity and the frequency that you're training. And if you're, optimizing your nutrition as well, then your recovery is going to be very good. Therefore, you're probably not going to be as sore.
Absolutely.
But that being said, like if you are someone who is maybe an untrained individual, like you're just getting into training or you've just come back from your Bali holiday and you're getting back into training and you go, I've got RDLs today, in particular, those exercises that put you into, a stretch position are probably going to make you pull up a lot sorer. So I think, yes, you absolutely can train over that muscle soreness. Because but you just need to be wary of it.
Yeah, it's a risky mindset. It's a great point when somebody trains and, they're not sore. And I think, funnily enough, that's where the upper body comes in. Generally after legs, no matter what, you will feel a little bit of soreness. And that's just the nature of your body. That's just how it works physiologically. But with the upper body, sometimes it can be hard to chase that same soreness, and it puts you in a weird mindset where you go and train a bit harder next time, or even a lot harder next time, or we're not warming up properly and we're prioritizing pushing as much volume as possible. That's where the risk of injury comes in, and then you're getting no DOMS because you're not at the bloody gym anymore. So that's a really good point there. I totally agree with Sammy. You can absolutely train over DOMS, and something that I've harped on in a previous episode is the fact that it is important to continue to move, to continue to keep your muscles under heat, to allow for that blood flow, the nutrient delivery, the hydration, and all that good stuff that comes along with it that will help repair and recover all those sore muscles a little bit quicker. It's not a magic potion. There is no magic potion. It will just get better and better each time setting up that routine. So yeah, I absolutely think you can train over DOMS. And if it's too sore, take a deload.
Yeah.
If it's, train a different muscle group for God's sake.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to, if you're pulling up super, super sore from a leg sesh and you're trying to do that 2 or 3 days later and one to the same volume, another 2 days later, you're going to be in a wheelchair pretty much. So take a deload, train a different muscle group. Be smart about it.
Yeah, for sure. And if you do find yourself in a position where you are pulling up really, really sore no matter what after every session, there's probably something wrong. And it could be a combination of things, but it's likely due to your recovery. So your protein intake or your calories might be really low. You might be getting really bad quality sleep or not enough of it. Or you could just be doing too much volume in the gym every time. Like if you're going in and doing German volume training, I don't know if you know much about that.
No clue, mate.
10 by 10, 10 sets, 10 reps on like a barbell squat. And that's,
oh my God.
Yeah. I've tried it before. It's cool.
Of course you have.
Well, I'm German, so I have to,
Yeah, true.
do my squats and then go at my sauerkraut,
Your Wiener Schnitzel. Oh, very good.
But that brings us on to the next topic of what is actually the optimal amount of reps and sets that we should be doing per muscle group. And before we get into the whole science and what the most optimal split is, I think the best split is the one that you can stick to long term.
Bro split?
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So like if the most optimal split is training twice a day, 7 days a week, which it's not, are you going to be able to do that sustainably? Probably not, right? Say there's an optimal amount that you should be training sets and reps wise 3 days a week or 4 days a week or 5 days a week. You should choose whatever one fits within your lifestyle, if that makes sense.
Yep.
So I think for most people, 2 to 3 working sets per exercise is a really good place to start.
Okay.
Probably 3 sets is a general rule of thumb for most individuals that might be starting out in the gym, or maybe they've been training for a little while and, their intensity's good. For those individuals that train really hard and have been for quite some time and take the majority of their sets to a close proximity to failure, they can get away with training 2 sets.
2 working sets.
2 working sets per exercise. And keeping in mind that I'm not talking about total sets, I'm talking about working sets here, right? Which a lot of people get confused because, and I've seen it with clients before, is I'll put in 3 working sets and I'll see on a dumbbell or say a barbell bench press, there's 30, 40, and then 50 kilos, set 1, 2, and 3. And I'm like, so you just did 2 warm-ups and 1 working set.
Yeah.
Right? So,
and then you've just cooked yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. And then you're only doing 1 set. So it's really important on those compound lifts to at least do 2 to 3 warm-up sets.
Yeah.
On your isolation exercises, maybe just 1 warm-up set is completely fine.
Yep.
And then you'll be right to get into it. And when you're tracking your training, you only need to be tracking your working sets. You don't need to track your warm-up sets.
No. Yeah, no, I think, it's a great point, and I think it's super, super important from somebody in the recovery and massage environment that warm-up sets are super, super important to get your mind and your body ready to go, ready to work. Really wakes your brain up to alert it of what is going on. Now, your brain doesn't know that you're in the gym, but it knows that it's about to be tested. The muscles are about to be tested. They're they are under strain currently, and it's going to prepare itself for the next go. And it will help also to bring heat in there, and will help you with your lifts, with your stronger lifts. When your muscles are warm and they're ready to go and there's blood flowing through them, they're going to be ready. There's going to be more delivery of the energy that we need to make those short bursts of energy.
Absolutely, mate. And in terms of rep ranges, I think in a general rule of thumb, if we're looking at compound lifts, so, squat, bench, deadlift, those bigger lifts, multi-joint, typically a 5 to 10 rep range is a good range to be in. And then for your isolation exercises, so like leg extension, triceps, biceps, that sort of thing, anywhere from a 10 to 15 rep range is generally pretty safe.
Yep.
But that's a general rule of thumb. You can go higher, you can go lower on those, just depending on the most important thing, of course, training at a close proximity to failure and progressive overload, getting stronger over time.
Yep.
But like I mentioned, there's no optimal split. But if there was, I think personally, for me and my clients, this is what I get a lot of my clients to do from, a male training perspective, would be push, pull, legs, upper body.
Yep.
And you're on that split as
I
well.
am. Yep.
I've been on that split as well. And I think it's the best of both worlds, right? You get to hit every muscle group twice a week. And then if you were a female trainer, typically like a lower upper split is quite a good split as well, which is what your partner Indy's on.
Correct. Smashing it.
Yeah.
Pilates princess no more.
That's it.
That's good. We're going to move on.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about cold therapy versus hot therapy. Now, before I get started and ramble on for the next hour and a half, what's your take?
Well, obviously, I do a cold shower every morning. For those who didn't know,
dude, we get it. Far out.
Maybe I should just say that every single episode. I can't remember.
This is the cold morning shower podcast.
Maybe we should change the name. Maybe we should move the podcast to the shower. No, I wouldn't be able to stay in there that long.
No.
Look, I think it's all the rage at the moment, right? Saunas, ice baths, cold showers, like very, very popularized recently. And I think the cold, I don't do cold showers for recovery at all.
I was going to say.
I don't think
different
cold,
reason.
Yeah, the cold showers, like I'm not in it for long enough for one, and it's not cold enough to give me any sort of recovery benefits. I'm doing it simply for mental resilience and because I'm fucking mental, right?
Glad you said it.
But and I get a lot of clarity, a lot of benefits from it personally. Yeah. Do I think you can get some benefits from jumping in like a cold plunge for a longer period of time? Yeah, I think so. However, I think from like a muscle recovery standpoint, you're probably better off with heat. And I think they both have their place, right? And you can probably speak a little bit further on this, but we need to be careful with when we're applying the heat and the cold around training.
Timing's huge.
Yeah.
Timing is topic number one. Rule number one is timing on both of them and under what circumstance you're going to use cooler therapy or hotter therapy. And I think that a popular opinion or a popular study recently is that getting into, direct cold, like cryo or an ice bath or whatever it might be directly after specifically weight training can be a bit more of a hindrance to muscle growth, potentially even muscle recovery. Funnily enough. Which is wild. It sounds weird. It sounds really weird, but that pain and that soreness that you get after your hard training session or your footy game, whatever it might be, is that inflammation response from your body to send blood, to send nutrients to that area to repair it because it's been damaged, so to speak, not in a bad way. to help that recovery and repair process start. So if we jump into cold, very cold, too quickly, we're constricting the blood pathways, we're slowing that down, and you might come out in that the day or two later sorer than the time you didn't jump in a cold plunge or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
So I think personally a great time to jump into cold or anything like that is when that pain is, and you'd only do it for a very short amount of time. I have to stress the importance of that as well, is to block pain receptors and just numb the area almost. And you do this with injuries, but you can also do this with your post-training. Like if it is really, really bad and you've just come back from a holiday, you're just starting out, you can use cold.
Yep.
Not directly after. Wait for that all to develop and start repairing and all that process to start. And if it's just totally unbearable, let's say in your hips or something like that, you can use cold for a very short amount of time just to get you moving. But importantly, we want that process of inflammation to go through.
Yep, absolutely. So you would say like it's pretty safe to do cold therapy, whether that be like a plunge or cryotherapy, like on a rest day, probably a good shout.
On a rest day,
Yeah,
100%.
Yep.
Not the day of.
Yeah, and you often see that like with footy players, right?
Yep.
You know, they play footy, then the next day they're out in the ocean, you know, waist deep.
Yep, absolutely. And, you know, they'll play a footy game and they're on the bike after the game.
Yeah, getting warm.
Keeping warm.
Right?
Warm up, warm down, not cool down. That's another one.
That's really good, actually.
Warm up, warm down. So they're on the bike, they're moving around, they're eating food, they're drinking water or electrolytes or whatever it might be. You'll see it with anyone, rugby, footy, soccer. They're not stop the game, don't eat nothing, straight into the cold plunge. Never. You don't see that anymore. That used to be the way, sure. Times have changed. So yeah, definitely, yeah. And heat's a great one, you know what I mean? Like, funnily enough, when you're super sore after a workout, moving around, you feel better.
Yep.
And that's because we're keeping the muscles hot, we're keeping the body warm, and we're allowing all of that process to happen and to finish and to repair and recover. So I would say that, yeah, just about the timing. It's really about the timing and under what scenario you would use cold. And cold is becoming even less popular with acute injuries.
Yeah, with the whole rice scenario,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's, it depends how acute. But after working in a physio clinic myself and sitting in on those development sessions every week has taught me a lot about the fact that they want to get people with a lot of injuries that you wouldn't think. They want to get people lifting heavier than they would have before, like sooner as well, and really like pushing it as much as is necessary and is safe.
Yeah.
And that's keeping the body warm. They're like, look, only use cold if it is totally unbearable. And I mean, ankle sprains, things like that, sure. If it blows up like an egg, I'm not saying keep moving. I'm saying definitely put some ice on that one just so that you can move to recover.
Yep. Love it. That's fantastic. And would you say something like a sauna would be like a good shout post-workout?
Great.
Sauna, warm shower, something like that.
Absolutely.
Even like a warm like Epsom salt bath.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that in conjunction with staying as mobile as possible after the fact.
Yep.
Never stop completely. If we're talking just post gym soreness.
Yeah.
Once you stop, you're done.
That's it, mate.
You're done. The
100%.
soreness just hits you.
Yep.
Nothing's moving around. It's all sitting there. All that sort of lactic acid and build up and bruising. Recipe for disaster.
And we will have a sauna here soon.
We will. Yeah.
At Form First.
It's in the works. At Form First at Core Medial. Inside there with some compression boots and some other things to help people with their recovery process.
Absolutely. I want to talk about my treatment that I got from you yesterday.
Oh no.
Yeah. I for the listeners, I've for the past couple of weeks, like my right shoulder has been a little bit tight
Cooked.
through the medial posterior delt, no anterior delt, it wasn't the rear delt, mainly in my pressing movements. So I decided to book in with the good sir at Core Remedial and got the usual treatment with the needles, and Ben used this funky little device. What would you call it? A scraper?
Scraper.
Yeah. And it heats up.
Yeah,
it was
self-heated, yeah.
It was really warm. It was like, what did you say, 40 degrees or something?
Yeah, 40 to 50 degrees.
Yeah. So, and I mean, you can probably speak a little bit more on what the heck that actually does.
Yeah.
Because looking at my back, it just looks like a big bruise today.
Yeah.
But it feels amazing.
Yeah. For those that don't know, Sam has sensitive skin.
Yes. I'm a sensitive guy.
I wasn't taking it very easy on him, so I'm not surprised that there's some marks showing up there. Yeah, the scrape is great, and I think that through proper assessment, with everything, we found that it was sort of coming through potentially through your rotator cuff, which is a really common set of muscles to be used in pressing and pulling movements, which is just on the back of your shoulder blade there, which can come through into that shoulder and start referring all around, and it feels like it's coming from your bloody chest.
Yeah.
So it can get very confusing in that sense. But yeah, the scraper is a really great little device that I got sent from Ached Away. Just reached out to me and sent it out, and it's, could have been anything that rocked up in that package, but it actually was what they said it would be, and it's been fantastic. You just use it with a little bit of massage cream or whatever, and heats up, like we were saying, 40 to 50 degrees, and really, really helps get your body ready to go. With needles, with massage, and just starts a bit of that recovery and repair process for me. Really helps save my hands as a massage therapist when I'm needing to, and can save a bit of time as well, especially in colder weather. Really gets the heat in there quickly.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we need. We need that repair to start. If there is some restriction there for Sam, or a slight injury, and nothing was amber or red flaggy to me with that, so it was all safe to use the heat and use the needles and things like that. But how do you feel? How's the arm?
I feel a lot better. Like, it pulled up a little bit sore. Like, for those who haven't had dry needling done before, you pull up quite sore, like DOMS feeling, like you've trained.
It is bruising.
Yeah. So it's like I got it like in my trap sort of area there, and it feels like I've just done 1,000 shrugs basically.
Yeah.
But it feels good today. The shoulder's definitely loosened up. I know it will probably take a few days to fully repair. But yeah, I'm not going to do any more pressing movements for the rest of the week, and then next week I should be ready to rock and roll again.
Yeah. Be intuitive with it.
Hit some PBs, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Straight to it.
Getting you operating, mate.
Rip the chest off the bone.
Yeah. But yeah, and I think it was good that you were, I remember you saying to me yesterday, you were proactive about it, which is really, really good, which is what we've spoken about already, was that you're like, it's feeling tight, and I was asking if it was painful, and you're like, no, it's not painful, just feels a little bit uncomfortable. It feels different, which are great ways to describe things. I actually understand people describe things exactly how you feel it, and you'll be surprised most people have either gone through it or they know what you're talking about. So describe it however you want.
Yeah.
But that's how Sam described it to me, and that's a sign of being proactive. He knew that, and those are the early warning signs. We need to pay attention to early warning signs that your body is giving you. It's not there for no reason. It's not all in your head. Yes, part of it is in your head, but it is real. And come to me to prevent what could come from a rotator cuff injury and overuse, and some sort of potentially a tendonitis or anything like that as well, which is just inflammation of the tendon. So well done to you, mate.
Yeah, I know.
Thank yourself for that.
Yeah, pat on my back.
Yeah, if I could reach, I would.
Cheers. But yeah, I think if I kept going, I know that I would have gotten injured for sure. Yeah. So, just getting in contact before I needed to.
Takes a lot to do that.
Like we spoke about.
Yeah.
Leave the ego at the door and just get the job done.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice one, mate. Well done. Thanks for coming to see me.
No worries, mate. And mate, with all this warmer weather that we're having, we've been getting so much more interest in the studio. Loads more signups recently, which has been fantastic.
It's been great.
And if you guys listening are sick of being in a commercial gym and lining up for equipment and sick of dirty gyms, then get in contact with us. Get in contact with Form First. Either send Form First Studio a DM or Core Remedial or Sammy Shreds, or head over to formfirststudio.com.au and book a consult with us, book a gym tour, and we'll show you around and get you out of the busy, stinky gyms and get you into a nice, clean studio. We would be more than happy to have you guys here as well. And if you need any coaching leading into the warmer months, Sammy Shreds _coaching. And for all your recovery needs,
Core Remedial, baby.
Hit him up.
Get in there.
Let's go.
Nicely done.
Awesome, mate. We'll leave it there. But thanks for tuning in again, guys. And we look forward to seeing you next week for episode 5.
Catch you next time.
See ya.
Peace.
Bye.